Is it better now?
Can you hear us now, guys?
I thought I changed it. I don't know what happened. Here you go. Thank you for telling us.
Is it working now?
Ah, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So
let's go back to the beginning. So yeah,
okay.
Last episode, that was a setting up episode. Apparently, according to Emilia Clarke, next week is gonna be bigger than episode 3, and I mean, I cried so much in episode 3. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bust a tear. Like my eyes are gonna burst out next week. That's gonna be horrible. But we still got our a few losses this week too. Missandei, Rhaegal.
Rhaegal. I said it, and I'm right. I want to be right. By the end of season 8, all dragons are gonna be dead. All of them.
The way they killed Rhaegal, it looks like Drogon might be a goner too. Like, it happened so freaking fast. Like, I know someone said to me in the comments, like, they were surprised by my reaction to Rhaegal's death. I was shocked. I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I mean, for a second, I think I laughed a little bit because there was this music and this conqueror vibe. Dany was going in. She knew what she was doing, you know? She knew what she was going to be doing. She was going to win this thing. And then suddenly, bam, bolt into Rhaegal, no music, and screams. I think I laughed a little bit because the way they did it kind of shocked me. And when I'm shocked, I mean, I react the way I react.
That's the thing, though. And where back then, when she was in Essos, she used a dragon to burn cities, burn down our enemies, and she was this big mother of dragons. And people were scared of what she could do with her dragons. But in Westeros, they don't care. They don't give a shit about her title. They're ready for her to go.
I thought you were going to say they don't give a shit about what she's going to do with her dragon.
No, but they're ready. They got the armory to defend themselves.
They're gonna fight back.
Worst.
The thing with what she's doing right now with her dragons is it's not the same as in Essos.
Yes,
they did.
They came out and rip our hearts out. Yeah. How dare they?
It surprised us. But yeah, for Dany, the thing with her being in Westeros now compared to Essos, someone said in the comments, and I agree, in Essos it was a lot more black and white. You had at first, I mean, you had the slaves and you had the masters. So, but the thing is, I feel like when she was in Essos, she took way more time to think about her actions. She actually ended up, you know, thinking of strategies. Marine, Yunkai, these places, she didn't burn down the place. She managed to raise up, you know, the people. She convinced them to fight back.
But she wasn't a place that she lived in. She grew up in a
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I just mean that now it looks to me like she goes straight to, let's kill them.
She wasn't that overwhelmed by her emotion back then. I agree to that.
Now she's alone. She's losing people.
Jorah is dead too.
Yeah, Missandei just got killed. That's gonna be terrible next week.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I mean, the way they showed us Dany this episode, it feels like they're pushing her more and more towards the Mad Queen persona. And as much as I love Dany, because there's been a huge reaction online about Dany. When it was Sansa, people were mad at Dany and reacting.
You're bashing Sansa.
But now it's Dany. So, oh my God, you're bashing! She's a great character. It's just that it's happening so fast that we don't see the her getting there. You know. So suddenly, one day she was okay and she was doing this thing, this conqueror thing, but she was doing it the right way and listening to her advisors. And the other day, she's going down the mad road.
Delivering the show for me, stuff happening with no setup. I wouldn't say that there's really no setup for Dany becoming a Mad Queen. In early season, we did talk a lot about that. It's a flip of a coin if you're mad crazy or if you're normal in the Targaryen's bloodline. She saw her brother being killed with cold eyes, and she said that fire cannot kill a dragon.
When it comes to Dany, it was kind of set up.
She always have this spark in her mind that could be lit and becoming a mad queen herself. She got a moment when she come, is she fine? But she just got overwhelmed by her emotion and just act on impulsion.
When it comes to Dany, it's true that, hello. When it comes to Dany, it's true that when she was in Essos, people loved her. She had the support, and even though it went crazy at one point with her dragons, people respected her. Now, it's not happening. Cersei is winning, and she lost so many people. She lost 2 dragons. She gave a lot of things, so she is stressed out. She's tired, and the emotions are kind of overcoming her a little bit. That's why I think, yes, it's true that in Dany's case, we could have seen that coming. The thing is, it is happening faster. That's why I think it's true. People are saying there is no setup to what's going on.
Yeah.
The thing is, back in the day, they were following the books. In the books, there is a lot of time for setup. So, I mean, you follow, and it looks like you've been ready, like you've been prepping for this moment. But
do
now,
you think there's a
it's not
chance
happening.
Jaime's on his way to kill Cersei?
Yes. I think they, in my mind, it was clear that's what he was doing. I think they tried to play it as him going back to Cersei because he thought he deserved to die with her. And the way Brienne said, like, you're not like her. And it looked like he was going back to Cersei to be with her. But, I mean, after all this character growth...
After all it's done, and after the battle at Winterfell...
Yeah.
He's not going back to Cersei to play the happy lover brother vibe.
And not only that, but when he took his decision, it was right after Sansa got the memo that they got stopped at King's Landing. They lost a dragon, and Missandei got kidnapped. So Jaime heard that Cersei was winning, and I think he thought there is only one way this is going to end. It's if Cersei dies, and the way she is prepped, the way she has weapons for the dragons, there is no way they're going to win in a fair fight. So I think he believes that he needs to sneak into the castle since he thinks she might allow him back because she loves him, and he's going to kill her.
Oh.
Knowing he might, I don't think he plans on coming back, and I don't think he's gonna come back.
I don't think that. I don't think that if he ends up killing Cersei, he's gonna let himself live after that. She's his twin. She's his lover from so many years. She was the mother of his children.
Mm.
It's just gonna destroy him completely after that.
Back on Dany, they were hinting that she was going to flip and become mad since season 7. It's true, when she killed the Tarleys. It's true that even though we had glimpses of a potential craziness growing inside of her back in season 1, 2, and 3, it got way clearer for us in season 7 since she got to Westeros. And I mean, you could explain it by they decided she was going to go mad in season 7, or it's just that now that she's in this this land that she doesn't know, the stress is overcoming her, and she doesn't know how to react. It's true that she acts a bit like a foreigner. She doesn't know politics. She knows slave saving and stuff. She knows what she used to do in Essos, but it's not as black and gray here. I mean, the people that she threatens to burn are not the slave masters. And even then, I personally feel that even if you kill the ones that are guilty, if you do it that way, you're not going to be seen as a savior. You're going to be seen as a tyrant. So I feel that, like, she's becoming what she wanted to stop. This is bad.
Do you think we have seen the last of Sam and Gilly and Tormund and Ghost after their exist in this episode?
I want to say no. At least I want to see them in the epilogue. Like, I want to see what they became. I'm pretty sure Sam is going to be back, not for the fight, but at least in the last episode, depending on how it ends. As for Ghost and Tormund, when they left Winterfell, it felt to me like a farewell to Jon, as if he might never come back. So he was leaving behind everything that was Stark, everything that was North. He was leaving that at Winterfell, going south. He's surrounded by people he doesn't really know. There is no one else with him aside from Davos and Dany, who's mad, mad at him and stuff. So I think I would really love for them to show up if he ever ends up being in trouble, but I can't be sure. Like, it seems like a weird thing to send away two characters. Like, one of them is main character in the North, and the other is fan favorite, and 2 episodes from the end, like, you send them away and you don't see them again. I would be kind of disappointed if we don't see them again, especially since they've been saying Ghost will do something very important this season, and he hasn't. Aside from losing an ear, poor thing. Aww. He did nothing.
The Tully deserved to burn. They were at war.
I'm not saying they didn't deserve to die or anything. That's what's wrong here. War is complicated. There is no good solution. There is no right solution. Should Dany have burned them? Maybe, maybe not. The Tarleys, they knew what they were up against. They chose to stay and go with that faith. What I don't like is the way Dany is going at it. For example, like, we all know that at war, hello baby, you're gonna, at war, you have to make sacrifices. And it's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but I mean, it's necessary. What I don't like is that when it comes to making that choice, sacrificing the people in King's Landing in order to win the war or not, it's like Dany doesn't even understand how bad of a choice it is. Like, she's just, I'll kill them all. She's so mad. She's mad at what happened, to Missandei. She's mad at Cersei is winning. And it's the way that she just goes to that solution right away. And yes, she is listening to her advisors, but since she got to Westeros, it's like she always wants to go to that choice, and she doesn't, she doesn't even, blink at this. Jon, when he needs to make sacrifices, he feels bad about it. He feels really bad. You see him brooding, for God's sake, like for days after, and he doesn't feel good about this. But to me, it seems like in the recent seasons, Dany has been choosing this ending, like killing the innocents, without even phasing, being shocked or anything. So that's why I'm kind of feeling bad about this.
Why do you think Jaime wanted to push Brienne away? I think that might be the fact that he thinks that every good thing happening to him ends up being
crushed,
or tainted.
Yeah.
I think also that he might think that if he allowed her to come down the path that he's choosing, she's not gonna come in back like him, technically.
It could be that he didn't want her to follow, or that by trying to be the villain once again, he tried to make it easier on her. That I think he thinks he's gonna die. So if he goes south and dies, being this hero that Brienne loves,
he's gonna crush her.
He's gonna crush her, like he's gonna hurt her bad, and he doesn't want that. So I think him trying to play the bad guy, him telling her everything he did, and reminding her that he did some crazy stuff, it was his way of setting her free, trying to prove to her, like, there is no reason to love me, so stop. It's really sad because I have this feeling that they're never going to see each other again. It's crushing me.
Jon executed members of the Night Watch. Robb and Ned Stark executed men that disobeyed them. Why is only with Dany that is a problem?
That's not what I said. Dany killing people is not the problem. It's the way she does it that's the problem. It's the fact that she does it without, it looks like it's not causing her any problems personally. Like Jon or Robb, that's a good example. When Robb had to execute Karstark, after he did it, he left, he was shaking. He wasn't feeling good about this at all. Ned, every single, there's a saying in the North, like, the one who passes down the sentence swings the sword. That's because if you cannot push yourself to do this and to taint your soul by killing people that need to be executed, they might not deserve to be killed. So it's a way of staying grounded and remembering that what you're doing is no small thing. And yes, sacrifices are necessary. I just feel like, especially recently, because I mean, Dany has killed people before, and she has been questioning her ways several times. But nowadays, I feel like she's not as much anyway. Like she's been saying, oh, I'm gonna kill the innocents. Like I don't really care about the consequences. It looks to me like it doesn't really affect her. That's why I'm queasy. I'm feeling weird about this. That's why I think there is potential for her to go back. I'm not a Dany hater, though. I do think that they are making her do these things because they want to give us the drama. But eventually, she might end up doing the right thing. She's not a bad person. It's just that right now, she is letting fear and pain and stress blind her in her decisions.
Yeah. Why does Varys have up his sleeve, and how do you think his story will conclude? By
He's gonna die.
Melisandre profiles it. He's gonna die.
She said he was gonna die.
The way that's gonna die that we still don't know.
Well, after last episode, I don't think it's a secret. I think he might try to have her killed, have Dany killed, and he's gonna be executed because it's true. No matter what Dany is doing, it's treason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do understand why he's feeling stressed over her right now, but Tyrion is actually being the better advisor right now. Like, you need to have faith in your ruler up to a certain point, but to choose to just turn your back on her and have her executed, especially when you're a guy who's been like with several kings and queens and who's seen the rise and the fall of several of them. And I mean, if you're in there for the realm, it looks like you haven't been doing a good job. So I think he might try to have her killed, and he's gonna be caught and executed. And I mean, it's not as much as Varys is cool. He's a player like Littlefinger. And if you want to change,
doesn't end up well in this
come on.
show.
If you want to change the realm and stop the wheel, you need to get rid of the people that live off of secrets and he has his own agenda. In the books, it's even more obvious, but
yeah,
I think he needs to go.
Nah, man, Jamie is addicted to that hateful woman. Is going to die in the home of the woman he loves. I said 2 comments, sorry. But...
Maybe. I mean, if it happens, if he actually goes back to Cersei in order to just die with her, and he doesn't even try to stop her, I'll be a bit disappointed in his character, though. It looks to me like they've been making him become a fan favorite over time. Like he's been being better and better over the seasons. And to me, if he does all of that and ends up, leaving Cersei only to come back and die, that would be a disappointment, personally. But we'll find out because I'm pretty sure he dies next episode.
John didn't flinch when he killed Janos, though.
He hesitated. He hesitated.
The thing with John is, even though he needs to make harsh decisions, like execute the man at the wall, he's not gonna show much of emotion when he's with other people. Why do you think he's brooding so much?
The thing
is, you can see it in his character that every day that's passed on, when he does something like a harsh decision like that, it affects his character slightly, but it still does.
There's a difference between Jon's way of killing someone without flinching and Dany's way of choosing that option without batting an eye, I feel like Jon carries that guilt around a lot more, whereas Dany, right now at least, she doesn't. And it's another thing to, she lets her emotion take control of her a lot more. Yes, Jon is also a Targaryen, and Jon has let his emotions control him several times, but he doesn't make as many rash decisions as she does.
That's the Stark blood in his veins.
Probably. But I think I told you personally on Sunday, one good example of that is when Ollie killed Ygritte. He killed his love. What did he do with Ollie after that? He made him a steward. He could have done several things. Like, he could have killed him in the heat of battle. He could have sent him away. But he kept him close and he forgave him. So that's one thing that I feel like Dany might have a harder time doing, which is not letting her emotions take control of her. I mean, he's the ice to her fire in a way, so I'm kind of sad because I really wanted them to maybe rule together and even things out. But then Varys went last episode and said if they end up ruling together, she's going to control them because he's not strong enough for her. So, and I mean, after he said that, it's like they crushed the idea of having them wed. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Jaime is on his way to kill Cersei and will die in the process? Then Brienne will find out she's carrying his child. We thought about that.
If it happens, I'm gonna be so sad, but happy too. Like I mean, it's like if he dies, but she's pregnant, it's like he left a little piece of him for her to remember. And
a good piece of him.
And I mean, I don't know if Tyrion is gonna die, but it's also gonna make sure that the Lannister line carries on.
Alive, yeah.
And might be, starting anew, starting with someone that is pure and not tainted by all the gimmicks that they've been doing.
I have a theory about a possible twist. Hear me out. What if Tyrion is sabotaging Dany's on purpose to make her mad? I think he's secretly working with Cersei. I don't think that Tyrion is willingly sabotaging things up. I don't think that he's willing to work with Cersei either. He might love her because she's still his
He's willing
sister.
To give her chances.
He wants her to try to step down a bit, and
he wants to give her a chance to at least
she's still his
come
sister.
out of
She's
this,
still family. He doesn't want her to end up dead. You don't want that for your family member, even though. Yeah, I'm not talking about his dad at all.
As much as he hates Cersei, they understand each other in a way that Jaime will never understand Tyrion. They've got the brains. Like, when he talks to Cersei, it's always interesting. As much as they hate each other, their relationship still exists. It's just that they don't know how to play it out. And at this point, Cersei really wants Tyrion to die. But even then, like, she could have had him killed in front of the gates, but she still didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still has like feelings for the fact that he's part of her family. I'm pretty sure she's gone. Like she's crazy. But I don't know. It looks like she's having doubts when it comes to Tyrion. But she allows him to talk to her. She allows him to try to change her mind. So it's interesting. But when Tyrion met Dany, he was at his lowest. He had killed his dad. He had killed Shay. He had been betrayed by everyone. He was alone in a new place, and she gave him hope. She gave him a place at her side. She gave him the worth. He was worth something. Finally, like his talents were used in the right way, and he wasn't, manipulated into doing this. Like he was actually helping her out. I feel like that's not going to be something he's willing to betray. That love for her, that loyalty he has for her is important. The thing with the relationship right now, it might seem like he's ready to betray her a bit, but that's only because since they've been to Westeros, she's been getting meaner and meaner, and she's been threatening him. There's a reason why Sansa looked at him and said, like, you're afraid of her, and he didn't really say no. Right now, he's afraid that she might go down the same path as her dad, and he's afraid of what that's gonna cause to the realm and that what's gonna cause to him. But I don't think he's ready to let her go yet.
If Cersei killed her own unarmed brother, she could win the war and still lose the throne by cementing her reputation. Yeah, since she already has a plan in place, killing him wasn't important there.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. In a way, I don't think she cares about what the people think of her.
Like Tyrion said, the people hate Cersei. Cersei hate the people.
And it's not a secret. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
But I mean, she still tries to keep up appearances. When she allowed them to come into the Red Keep, it was clearly to have them, be her shield. Like it was to protect herself. But she doesn't say, "Come into the Red Keep so you can keep me safe." It's come into the Red Keep so you'll be safe. Like she's trying to show that she's merciful. And last season she was also presenting Dany as this foreigner.
Emilia Clarke said episode 5 will be bigger than the Battle of Winterfell and say find the biggest TV you can. Are you both prepared for that? Well, we got the biggest computer screen we can get, so we're fine with that.
We're gonna watch it on my computer, but I mean, we are ready for this episode. Well, we say that, but I'm gonna cry like a baby next episode.
Oh
I'm
my
sure
gosh.
of it.
Damn.
Bronn is dead to me. I didn't show this reunion in our reaction, but weirdly enough, I was expecting him to maybe turn around, but he went with money once again, and I feel that's all there is to his character at this point. There is no time left for character growth, you know. So
I think, like I'm alone defending both Dany and Jon, I think they're both the best morally characters compared to any other ones.
like I said several times, I am not a Dany hater.
We're not.
I feel
It's
like
just-
she has her reasons. It's just that the way they've been portraying her this season is like they want us to root for other people, but I will never rejoice if she ends up losing. I actually want her to win this war, and I mean, if there was a way for them to live happily ever after, go for it. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Bronn is the real hero of this story, the only self-made lord. Yeah, kind of. I mean, he had nothing. The only reason why he's still there is because he fought for it, and he stayed true to his beliefs.
And now it's gonna be Lord of Highgarden.
If
pretty soon.
everything ends up working out, it looks like Bronn always
He
tries
might
to.
get his 2 castles.
He
right?
never gets anything he asks for. He might die. I don't know where he
Yeah.
is though. I don't know if he went anywhere, but
Cersei knew about the failed attack on Castle Black. Cersei knew that they were going to Dragonstone last episode. Sorry, but I really think there is a spy.
I watched the behind the scenes of last episode, and I mean, they did say that by the time they got to King's Landing, she would have had a way of knowing, like information travels fast, and she has Qyburn. I don't know where I don't know, what does he call them? Like, it's not his little birds, right? That was Varys, but he's got spies like around, kids and stuff working for him, but information in this world really travels fast. So I don't know if we're gonna find out that suddenly one of the characters has been sending information, but could be that they just didn't show us how she learned it, and she did learn it in the same way as the others, like through information.
Yeah.
Like Hot Pie knew that Jon was king in the north, and he's in
information travel.
Exactly, information travels fast in this world.
Yeah. Jon Snow also had nothing for him at the beginning too. So does Dany. I think I agree. I think Jon is awfully trusting for someone who lived and died as he did, but it's consistent.
It's true to his character. Well, after he got killed, it wouldn't have been far-fetched to have him maybe doubt the others a little bit more. Because, I mean, he died because his own men turned on him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was less trusting. But they ended up going with no, he's still honorable. He's Ned Stark reincarnate. So, but with a little bit more of Targaryen in him than Ned. So he is trusting, and sometimes it is frustrating to see him trust people so much when you know they're going to betray him. Like, he's not made for the Game of Thrones at all, which is why if he ends up on the throne, someone is definitely going to have to be there to help him out.
On the bit opening credits for season 8, episode 4, you can see 3 smaller dragons with 1 large dragon. Someone commented this, and I saw the credits, and it's there. What do you think about that?
I did see
like what
the
Drogon is
tree.
technically pregnant and gonna have children after that?
It could go 2 ways. One is that maybe Drogon is the last big dragon it's gonna have eggs, new baby dragons. But I've seen like a theory, and I think I agree more with that one. The big dragon is Dany, and the 3 babies are dragons, because she's the mother of dragons. So I kind of like that theory more. Like, it made more sense. But it could be that they are going to be dragon eggs by the end of the show. Like, that would be great, because if Drogon dies, it's over for the dragons. So And I mean, Jon cannot technically walk into fire and make blood sacrifices and stuff. So I would kind of like dragon eggs.
Jon trusted Sansa because they grew up together, but in the end, she betrayed him. She's becoming Littlefinger 2.0, and I hate her for that.
What she did, like, there are so many ways of seeing this. It's true that she betrayed his trust. He told her not to tell, and she ended up telling. So that's a reason to at least dislike what she did. The way the conversation went, though, I chose not to hate her for what she did, because as much as she's trying to manipulate Jon's future, I mean, of course, he doesn't want to be king. So to have him put on the throne is not looking out for him. It's putting him on the bullseye and making sure people are going to target him. But I think Sansa really wants what's best for her family. And she doesn't trust Dany. I mean, talking to Tyrion and having him tell her, yes, I mean, she scares me. She trusts Tyrion. She believes that he's very intelligent. And if that man tells her that Daenerys scares him, she has no reason to trust her. And she already doesn't trust Dany.
Oh, damn.
So, I mean, and to tell that to Tyrion, she's making sure that her advisors, Dany's advisors, are going to turn on her. So yeah, she's basically starting a war like Littlefinger did. But I think even if her way of doing things is like Littlefinger, her intentions are pure, whereas Littlefinger's weren't. Some say that why she said this because she's looking out for herself. By having Jon being king, she's making sure that she's going to stay Lady of Winterfell. I think she already knows that she's going to stay Lady of Winterfell, even if Jon isn't king. He doesn't want it. He never wanted it. I mean, as far as Jon is concerned, if he had a say in his future, he would go
back
north.
to the wall.
Yeah, he'd go north with Ghost and just stay there.
Sansa is playing the game for her family. Jon might regret, and we didn't see Arya saying goodbye. I joked about it, but what if Arya really thinks
they'll mess it all up? Her leaving, that I didn't really like. Not her leaving, but not having to see her reaction to Jon being her cousin. That's a scene I really wanted to see, and they kind of robbed us of that, and I'm kind of mean.
Do you think that they might have shot it and just cut it out because it didn't fit inside the time frame of the episode, or?
I think it's an escape more than anything. It's a way for them not to think about how they'd react on the spot. Her leaving, she's definitely going south because she has people to kill there. So, but I mean, she didn't say goodbye. She just up and left. I think she feels disconnected to her family because of what she is. And now learning that her favorite brother ended up being her cousin, and now that he's twisted in all this, she feels like this is going to get too complicated. Like, she is not a lady. She has never been good at politics. She's never even tried. I think she doesn't want to be stuck in there, so she wants to end this war as quick as possible, the only way she knows how. So, and it's easier for her to just do it. No feelings attached.
Sansa is becoming a queen, a bad queen. How long until she turns into a mad one? Do you win the game or die? Do you think that Sansa might be pitting Jon against Dany intentionally so she can slip in as the third power player and snatch up the throne for herself?
So many people think that Sansa is going to end up on the throne. I've been saying for years now, I think. Well, for 2 years. I don't think Sansa wants to be queen. As much as it looks like she wants to be in power and wants to, control everything. It's part of her character, but I don't think she actually wants to be on the Iron Throne, because after everything she's been through in the South, I think she's done. She wants to stay north, where she understands and where everything is simple, and where she can rule. She can rule the North. She doesn't want the South. It's too tricky. It holds too many memories for her. I think she will stay north, but she wants to make sure that as she stay north, they won't be bothered. And if Dany becomes queen, she will bother them. She will ask for the north to, bend the knee and stay a part of the kingdom. She wants to stay independent. And she is scared that if she keeps standing up against Dany might end up attacking them, and it's going to start all over again. So she is trying hard not to have history repeat itself. And the only way how is to push Dany's advisors to turn against Dany and have them have a civil war, like in between themselves. Because Jon
Why
could,
the
if
war?
Jon ends up on the throne, there is not going to be a war between the South and the North.
Is Mountain Eyes green? If so, will Arya be the one to kill him and not the Hound? I don't know if I saw it right in the season 7, but I think his eyes are kind of green red.
But that's because he's
No,
became...
no, he had been brought back to life by Qyburn, but I think that his eyes are red or something.
No, I think his eyes are not red. But if he has green eyes, I did talk
But
about
I read
this.
somewhere that technically Walder Frey's eyes were kind of greenish, not brown.
And Peter Baelish were brown.
Peter Baelish had dark eyes, not so yeah. So Walder Frey might be the green eyes of Arya's list. Peter Baelish had the brown eyes, and the blue eyes of the Mad King. But I don't know if D&D will be fulfill a wish for the Hound to have his revenge on his brother.
I think he will have his fight, but I don't think he's gonna win. I think they're gonna have to team up, him and Arya, once again riding together south.
The mountain has blood, red eyes. Told you so.
Really?
Yeah, season 7 when they're in front of Cersei. You can see it in his eyes.
But he's already like a dead thing in season 7, so I don't know. But still, I think that the best way to kill the Mountain would be to have the Hound face him and almost manage to take him down, but then the Mountain, starts winning, and as the Hound is almost dead, Arya comes in and saves the day, because that's something she didn't do back then. She left him to die, and he did say, like, if I end up almost dead, will you leave me there to die and stuff? And she said, maybe. I think she might do something different there. She might actually come in and kill the Mountain. That would be great. So I want them to at least fight together.
The
Mountain's face.
Comments are so fast.
Please don't. I don't want Arya with that face on. That'd be a horrible thing.
Oh, damn. She's gonna like Chucky if she does. I think Arya and the Hound would try to kill Cersei and the Mountain, but in the end, Dany will burn everyone in the Red Keep with Drogon, including Arya, Cersei, and both of the Clegane brothers. I hope not. I really hope not.
Cersei's end could go so many ways, and unless, it's going to depend on where everybody is next week. When Jon didn't kill the Night King, I had this theory that he needed a fight, like he needed someone to kill, and he needed a huge battle, so I kind of put him against Euron Greyjoy. But it looks like Euron is going to be on his ships, and Jon is going to be on the other side of town, so I don't think they're going to face each other. Arya and the Hound, Cersei is going to be in the Red Keep. So depending on where Arya and the Hound are going to go, they're going to meet with Cersei eventually if she stays with the Mountain. But I don't think... I don't know. Maybe the Hound is going to face the Mountain, and Arya is going to have to choose between, going after Cersei or staying behind and help the Hound. That would be great. Would show her, have a dilemma. And that's something that could be cool with Arya.
Cersei will be strangled to death according to the prophecy she was told.
I don't remember how she was supposed to die. That's a part of the prophecy I forgot. I know the... Oh, yeah, wait. Yes, I think I do remember. And it's supposed to be the Valonqar. Yeah, the little brother who does it. It could mean many things. To me, it always meant that Jaime was the one who was going to do it. Like, I would imagine him maybe, giving her a hug or something and do it Gladiator style. Like, I don't know if you've seen Gladiator, but Commode. What's his name? Commodore
Commodore or something, yeah.
Like, how he killed his dad. That's how he killed his dad. Like, he gave him a hug and he smuggled him.
The standing part is book only. In the show, that part doesn't exist.
What doesn't exist in the show?
The strangling part.
We never heard the last part of the prophecy, so if they bring it back, that's good, but they never addressed it at all in the TV show, so...
Maybe Tyrion will do it.
No, I don't think he will. It's just like Arya.
He's shade to that.
No, but I don't think Tyrion will do it, because just like Arya, he's had enough kills.
Yeah.
He already killed her dad. if he also kills Cersei, it's like too obvious. Just like Arya, she killed Walder Frey, she killed Littlefinger, she killed the Night King. If she kills Cersei, to me, it's almost like bad writing.
Is it a commode, a toilet?
No, it's
It's like
it's where you put your clothes. Like it's a
it's a bedroom furniture. You put your clothes in it.
yeah, commode.
Well,
Anyway, is it bad that I cheered when Missandei died? Her romance
No,
with Grey
Grey
Worm
Worm
was
was-
the most forced.
tedious part of the show for me. Cheers to the mountain.
We're gonna agree to disagree. I don't think it was forced personally. It was a cute one. I think it's just that these characters, we don't see them enough to understand
That
how it
must be
evolved.
yeah.
But I mean, they've been teasing us with this romance since way early in the series.
However, commode is a toilet in the USA. It seems.
Really?
The things we learn.
It's not in French. What if Varys blames Tyrion for spreading the secret?
You think all three Lannister die next episode?
I don't see why Varys would kill Tyrion. I think he sees him as a good advisor, someone who would end up, being a good hand, because they understand each other. And I think way early in the show, he did say like he likes Tyrion. So I don't think it's a reason. Sorry, I don't think it's a good enough reason to have him killed, because he can still use him. That's the thing with Varys. If you can be used by him to make a better realm, he's gonna keep you in. I mean, he never betrayed the Mad King. I don't know why. Maybe he thought that he could still, do stuff with him or something. But sometimes he does things weirdly, and it's hard to understand his motives.
I don't particularly care, but I didn't like it because Missandei was one of the few innocent characters. You're talking about her death or romance with Grey Worm?
Maybe both.
Because her death, Missandei is true. She was an innocent character. She was Dany's most trusted friend from
Yeah.
all those years ago.
I think her dying was more meant to hurt Dany in the script and in the story. Like having Missandei die and Rhaegal died, that's what is going to push Dany to the edge. That's what that death meant. So it was needed if that's the way they want the show to go on. So, yeah.
I didn't like Missandei. I just wanted the relationship to end. Well, it did. She died.
Yeah, Missandei is the straw that broke the camel. Exactly. That's it. You saw Dany's face after she saw her death. She still had maybe a little bit of sanity in her. Like, maybe it's going to go down okay. Maybe I'm going to, be calm about this. But then Missandei was killed. Forget that.
Yeah.
Forget that. She already said, actually, that parlay moment, that reunion they had was meant for show. She already decided that she was going to burn everyone down, and then Missandei just goes and says, Dracarys, like, kill them all, burn them all. I give you the right to, bring your revenge and your fire and your blood to this city. She's going to listen.
Oh. The main problem is that the good characters are fighting honorless enemies. Both Euron and Cersei must be dealt with without honor and with extreme prejudice.
It's a thing we learned that pretty early on in Game of Thrones. You cannot fight with honor. Sometimes you gotta resort to doing to fighting dishonorably, like Jon fighting in the Night's Watch against what was his name, Carl something, I don't remember, but the guy with the knives.
Yeah.
He taught him that fighting honorably against someone who is not honorable, that's gonna just bring you death. And he did it against the Thenns. So it needs to come back. It's true. Cersei is not going to fight fairly. I'm not above her having something up her sleeves in the next episode.
Gendry, marry me, Arya. I just found out I'm gay. Yeah, about that. I don't know if you saw it in her eyes, but she was so scared when Gendry asked her to be his Lady of Stormlands. She doesn't want
Stormend.
Stormend, sorry.
Yeah.
Stormend. His castle. And it was a bit rushed and a bit awkward and kind of cute too, because since season 3 He had this idea that it wasn't enough for her, and now he got his title, he's got a land, and he's on the same level as she is, and that's not her. She doesn't care about titles. She doesn't care about castle and stuff.
She doesn't belong there at all.
Yeah.
She believes that, you believe that if he had just asked her to marry him,
She probably have said yes, like, marry me and we go travel south if you want to travel to the west. I don't care. But she's still got a goal to do south. She has a purpose to achieve. She might die.
That's it. I think she might feel just like Jamie, like she's not coming back. Either that, or once this is done, once her purpose has been, reached, she's just gonna leave. She doesn't fit now. They were celebrating her killing the Night King, and she couldn't
enjoy
it. Like she's not part of the group anymore. She's too different. She's just like Bran. She's so different from the rest of them that I feel like that's why she's not coming back. Like, if she doesn't die, she'll leave. And even the idea of marriage with Gendry might scare her, because she knows that that's going to lead to her being part of something. That's going to lead to her being part of his group, and she's going to have to stay with him and go through the rules and follow, follow the etiquette, She's going to have to be this person, and she is not.
Yeah. Do you think Cersei set off wildfire in the city to kill Daenerys? Is that the reason that Jaime kills her?
I did think that that's what she was going to do. Like, I thought that maybe she was going to end up being in the Red Keep, surrounded, and that's how she was going to die. If Jaime's not the one who does it, like, she would just burn everything and burn herself doing it, knowing that Dany is after the throne, and if she takes the throne away, that's going to be a last, a last stab to her. But someone did tell me that there is no more wildfire after the Sept. So if that's true, no wildfire. But she could always surprise us. I don't know what Qyburn has been doing apart from making that huge dragon killer thing. But he might have made more.
Did you notice the red colored dress of Cersei, the Mad Queen, in the last part of the episode? Notice that Daenerys is wearing red under her white dress. Both Mad Queen. That's the thing that I said when I watched episode 4, that Dany's dress are more and more reddish.
Yep.
Like
she's being tainted by the blood that's been spilled, like Jorah's blood, Missandei's blood, Viserion's blood, and now Rhaegal's blood. She's being tainted. She was pure. It's a very great way of seeing this. Like, I saw this as maybe, a little callback to the deaths, but seeing as it could represent her going into madness slowly, it's very interesting. As if, like, she used to be pure white, and now she's being tainted by all the blood. It's very good.
No. Might Drogon be Lightbringer? It has to be forged 3 times. Once by water, Viserion in the lake. Once by lion's blood, Rhaegal murdered for Cersei. And once by a lover, Drogon killed by Jon.
I don't think Jon is gonna kill Drogon. But, man, I never saw that resemblance. Like, I never made the connection. It's true, Viserion died in the lake, and then...
Shit, you're right! Damn!
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know, because it still depends on what the prophecy is about. Like, if the prophecy was about the Night King, I love the theory that Arya was Lightbringer and that Jon was still Azor Ahai. But then, the way he made it doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. This is a theory that I would enjoy a lot if Lightbringer and Azor Ahai's prophecy ends up being about... killing Cersei.
Well, Missandei did say that Jon or Dany might be the princess that was promised.
Yeah.
If Dany ends up being really Azor Ahai, that means that Drogon gonna die by lovers. No.
The last thing he did, Azor Ahai, to create Lightbringer was plunge the sword into his lover's chest, and after that, like, it got tainted and everything, and that's how Lightbringer, the sword, ended up working. But I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it depends on how you read the prophecy. It depends on
Yeah.
how they read it too. Because I mean, we could argue about this prophecy for days and never get our answer because it all depends on how the showrunners are gonna deal with it. And I don't even know if they're gonna follow that prophecy.
Mm. Who do you think Arya ends up killing? The prophecy said she closed brown eyes, blue eyes, and green eyes.
Yeah, we theorized about this. You think that maybe Green Eyes might be Walder Frey?
Yeah, but the actor has light color eyes, but they never really said what color was this in the show.
The way in the original prophecy, Blue Eyes come before Green Eyes. So obviously, someone would think that Green Eyes are the Lannisters and the Brown and Blue are the others. But in the show, at the end, Melisandre did say Blue Eyes at the end and Green Eyes right before. So Brown Eyes, Green Eyes, Blue Eyes. So I don't know if the way she says it, like the order that she says it, matters. But if it does, it's not Walder Frey because he died before.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't matter, Walder Frey could be the Green Eyes, Peter Baelish the Brown Eyes, and the Night King the Blue Eyes. But if Cersei, like I said so many times, if Cersei ends up being the Green Eyes and Arya kills her too,
that's bad writing.
Well, I mean, it's to give her all the main kills. It's like putting way too much like focus on Arya, where they're taking focus off of the two main characters and putting it on her, and I feel like it's not giving them a chance to do something. Like I don't know. I want them to have a fulfilling ending, no matter how it happens. If they end up being the bad guys, like if Dany goes mad, but it happens in a way I can believe, it's going to be fulfilling. If Jon ends up, dying, but he does it in a way that I can support, it's going to be fulfilling. If Arya ends up killing everyone and they end up being, well, we're just going to, get the reward and be on the throne and she just goes away, it's not fulfilling. Not to me, at least.
Yeah. I like the one where Azor Ahai was Rhaegar and Jon is Lightbringer. Then it would all be metaphorical, which I like it better. In the books, Jon is clearly Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised. All of the above. It will be Lightbringer too, and to show I have no idea what they're gonna do.
In the theory that Rhaegar might be Azor Ahai and Jon Lightbringer is something that I thought about this week, and I loved that idea because when Rhaegar was born, he was born following exactly like the prophecy with smoke and stuff, with the tragedy at Summerhall. It was exactly like the prophecy, so he believed for a long time that he was the prince that was promised. And then he never achieved his purpose, so he ended up thinking that the prince that was promised was going to be his son, which is why he wanted two daughters to be by his side and recreate the three-headed dragon. But he ended up having Jon instead. And Jon was born by killing his mom, so I mean the death of someone you love. I mean it makes kind of
but what about
a bit of sense.
What about
the other attempts?
The lions and the water.
Well, how did his kids die? The Lannisters.
Yeah.
They sent the mountain to kill the children and his wife.
Yeah.
As for the water, I don't know, but still, it would make a lot of sense.
Where did
Aegon's head was crushed?
Where did Rhaegar fall?
The trident.
Trident.
He died in the water. But I mean, it doesn't. It's not an attempt to create Lightbringer, but still, I like that theory anyway.
Oh. Do you think the Hound will be able to kill the Haunted Mountain, and will he be able to get over his fear of fire?
I don't think he will ever get over his fear of fire.
He's traumatized when he was a kid.
I mean, he technically kind of showed us that he's not as terrified now. I mean, he was surrounded by fire, and he did freak out, but when Arya was in danger in episode 3, he ended up, rising and doing something instead of just cowering. So, I think he kind of overcame his fear of fire already, but it's always going to be a part of him. Always. You can't just brush that to the side. As for him being able to kill a mountain, I would love to see him team up with Arya, and I think the mountain is going to die next episode, but how it's going to happen, I would love for Arya to be there with him, and the Hound tries to kill the mountain, and he doesn't succeed, but as he is, dying, Arya makes the choice between following Cersei and killing her, following her list, and helping the Hound, which would be between choosing her duty and her heart, the human side of her and the assassin side of her. If she chooses to help the Hound, that's her healing again. That's her finding that person that she used to be again. That would be great.
How much you both will miss Game of Thrones and all of us after 2 weeks' time.
Oh my god, I will miss it so freaking much. My relationship with Game of Thrones was a weird one. Like, I started it so late, and
She started when season 6 was
yes,
aired, guys. That late.
Because I may seem like I know a lot of stuff about Game of Thrones from years and years of knowing, but I'm a late bloomer when it comes to Game of Thrones. But it has become a huge part of my life. Like, I've cosplayed Game of Thrones. We both cosplayed Game of Thrones. We have read countless stories about Game of Thrones. It's what started our reacting channel.
Yeah,
so, and I mean, it's a great way for us to just be together and enjoy a show together and enjoy it with you guys. It's a show that has a lot of meaning to us. So to have it gone after all this time, all the lore it brought us, everything. I'm gonna read the books from start to finish. I might watch the seasons again. I'm gonna wait for the spin-offs and hope that they're gonna be good, because I'm gonna need that Game of Thrones again.
At least have at least 3 Game of Thrones spin-offs. If only one of them managed to be good, I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're gonna be about, but there is supposed to be one about the Long Night, and that one I'm expecting.
I hope it's gonna be good.
That makes me wonder though. Do you think they didn't address the Night King and the prophecy as much in Game of Thrones because they knew there was going to be a spin-off that was going to cover that? Because if that's the case, that makes me mad. Because it reminds me of Teen Wolf. Don't get me started on Teen Wolf. The TV show. God, I'm going to be mad if I talk about Teen Wolf. But
Hound already tried out the Pacific Path. Didn't work out. Yeah.
There
so
is
much.
no way. I mean, as after what happened with Oberyn and the Qyburn bringing the mountain back, Mountain doesn't exist anymore. It's just a ghost of who he used to be, and it's a puppet. It's a puppet that follows Cersei's orders. So there is no redemption available because the Mountain is not the Mountain anymore. So at this point, it's almost like he's gonna set him free, which is interesting, knowing that he wanted to kill him for so long.
I had a weird time thing with Game of Thrones. I read the first book like 10 years ago. Then I watched season 1 when it aired. That made me read all 5 books before continuing with the season 2 of the show.
No, it's
Might
actually
surprise
interesting.
you, but I never read the book.
Yeah.
Never read the book. I might do it once the show is.
Once the last one comes out, you might wait for years.
Maybe. But
You remind me. Yeah, we're gonna have more Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and others coming. It's true, they're doing a TV show about Lord of the Rings. I'm excited, but I'm so scared because the thing with Lord of the Rings is
we have a babies in that show, like Aragorn, Legolas.
I care so much about these characters, and to have them be there, but being played by other people, and have it being done differently, I'm scared I'm gonna not like it as much. So I'm gonna give it a try, but I'm holding my breath. I don't know.
Yeah. If you follow the trend with the gods pulling apart, maybe Ara's last mission is killing the mountain, the last abomination that she's dead by walking around.
Could be. And I mean, once again, it would be a great way to show us that it's not because you're little and you're considered weak that you cannot take on the biggest threat. Just like Lyanna Mormont. She took down the giant. So to have Arya kill the mountain, the biggest man there is, it's interesting. And especially since she asked Gendry for a spear. I mean, in season 4,
I don't think she has it anymore.
I don't know if she brought it with her. She could have just, kept it or anything. But I mean, it would be funny. I thought it was interesting. If she doesn't have it, well, let it go. But when Oberyn fought the mountain, he did say that when you cannot overcome the strength, you need reach. When he's bigger, you need reach and speed. She has both.
Yeah. I just hope if she does fight the mountain, she's not gonna do an Oberyn performance like in season 4.
Do you think Tyrion is actually a Lannister? Yeah, I know that theory. Or was his mother and forced by Aerys to sleep with him? It's a theory that I enjoy in the books, not in the show. especially since the other two dragons are dead. They kind of hinted at it a little bit when he set the dragons free, because they let him, and it was never done before, and to have someone that is not a Targaryen reach the dragons and have them, believe that he's not a threat.
It is true that beside Dany
And
Jon, Tyrion is the only one who was able to approach a dragon and live to tell the tale.
And I mean, considering all the incest that's been going on in the family, I wouldn't put it above that genetic, weirdness to be the cause of his, deformation. But it's a theory, like I said, that I enjoy in the books, where there is a lot more history, where we know a lot more characters, and where we have the time to explore it. And in the show, I think he's pure Lannister. So
Tywin's hate makes me think Tyrion is his son, as I think it reflects poorly on him. That's the thing with Tywin, that I think you're right. If he know for sure that Tyrion wasn't his son, he would have been dead long ago. Because Tywin's the man that he wants to protect the image his family was showing, and by keeping a bastard son from a Targaryen line, no.
I wanted to cast you into the sea. Why didn't you? Because you're a Lannister.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if he wasn't his son, though, I don't think he would know. Back in the day, there was no way to know these things. And I mean, Targaryens and Lannisters, both blonde. I don't think there was a way for him to know, even if he wasn't his son. So if she never told anyone, maybe he is, but in the books.
I hate the secret Targ thing. It makes no sense. Thematically, to me, Tyrion being Tywin's son is so thematically perfect.
It's true, though. It's true that it makes a lot... It creates this drama and this death and this weight around their situation when he is Tywin's son. I think the theory came from the fact that there's it's such a shitty relationship between him and Tywin. So people are kind of wishing that he might end up being more than he was meant to be. Mm-hmm. Like Jon, like he's a bastard, but we end up knowing that he's heir to the throne. So this is a thing that could happen with Tyrion as well. Like he was never meant to become anything, but he ends up being part of the royal family. So that's one of the reasons why I think the theory came to life. And there's also the other part of the theory that is the dragon needs 3 heads. And right now in the world, there is Dany, there's Jon, and apparently there's Aegon, but Aegon is not a real Targaryen. So who's the third one?
We do know, though, that technically Robert Baratheon's mother was a Targaryen.
It's not enough. And Robert Baratheon's mom, what?
She was a Targaryen.
They have Targaryen blood. I don't remember if she was a Targaryen.
But his mother or his grandmother, but he's got
Targaryen a little
blood.
Bit of Targaryen
That's
blood.
why a few of the people said that he could have a good claim on the throne. And in that
well, that's
time,
why he took the throne. I mean, that's why after the war he became the king.
Yeah.
It made sense. It makes sense, and he did win the war. But I don't think it would be that little for him to be a dragon. Like, no, come on, no. But I mean, I don't know. In the books, the dragon needs to have 3 heads. So, okay, in the books, their grandmother was a Targaryen.
Oh.
Not their mom, but still.
Grandmother.
So I don't know.
Close enough. Close enough.
In the books, I think that Aegon, the guy who's with the Golden Company, I think he's an imposter. So he's not the 3rd head. So it's possible that Tyrion might be a dragon, but I mean, we never know. We'll have to find out.
After 8 seasons with Jon,
not in the show. Not in the show. Let me rephrase again. Not in the show.
All right, not in the show.
Incest is still weird. I know it's coming back to me. Do you think that the brief mention of a new Prince of Dorne will play into the last 2 episodes at all?
Well, they need allies. They need arms for their armies.
Who is that Prince of Dorne? Like, they never mention anyone who could take the throne. In the books, it could be Arianne Martell, but she doesn't exist in the show. So who could be the Prince of Dorne? No idea.
A good twist for the show will be for Aegon Blackfyre to come for the last 3 episodes riding a dragon.
That would be one heck of a punch to the face, but it would be bad writing. so bad writing. Because, I mean, people would write again knowing that, one, if you've never read the books, who the hell is that guy? Two, how come he shows up at the end? We don't care about him. We don't have the time to care about him. Which is the same with the Prince of Dorne. Like, I don't think they will address him more than he's just an ally who might show up during the war and save their asses.
Just like the Veil with the Battle of the Bastards.
Kinda.
They're gonna come and save the day.
But I don't think they will. They don't have the time to introduce more characters because, I mean, what's the point? We don't know them, so we won't care. So I don't think they will. But, I mean, in the books, I don't know what's going to happen. But, yeah, Aegon Blackfire doesn't exist in the show at all. But, I mean, it would be.
Damn. Jon easily burned in the show, and I have heard in the book. So, is he a dragon? I think that it might be the fact that he's not a pure Targaryen because he got wolf blood in his vein.
It's not about the pureness of your blood. Viserys was pure-blooded, and he's not a dragon. Rhaegar was a dragon, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, true dragon is, someone who can withstand fire and stuff. But in the books...
But I think that in the books, Dany could be hurt too by...
Yes, she can
dragon
be burned.
fire.
It has to do with blood magic.
Yeah.
So that's how she is. She can withstand fire. But in the show, it looks like it's just pure, it's just who she is. Like, she can withstand fire. Jon cannot. He is definitely a Targaryen. I mean, his relationship with the dragons made that clear. But I don't think you need to be that. You need to withstand fire to be a true dragon. I think it's just one sort of dragon. Let's just say it like this.
Thinking of book versus TV, wasn't Roose Bolton most scarier in the books? I think that pretty much a bunch of characters were more crazy and scary in the book than they were in the show. You wrote Greyjoy for one, Ramsay another one too, and
Roose is basically a vampire in the books.
But yeah, they kind of put a small layer of madness and masochist sadistic
I think
for those characters in the TV show.
I think George really loves to present us characters that represent the true madness of the human, the human race. So a lot of characters are really crazy. Even the good characters have pretty crazy sides if you think about it for a sec. In the books, in the show, it's a little more soft because if the characters were as crazy in the show, many people would not watch. It would probably not be as popular because, I mean, if you want to reach a bigger audience, you need characters that are not
more
too
done
dark,
to hurt.
Not too dark to care.
In the show, then you walk out of fire twice. The first one with Drogo when she made the sacrifice. The second one was when she
killed the Dothraki.
the Dothraki's leader.
Yeah. Every time she did, it was by doing a blood sacrifice. So the theory could stand, but we have seen her not get burned. And Well,
I think it did say in the book that she can
withstand high
temperature, but not fire. Like her hair burn and melt every time.
Her hair,
That's why she got like short hair and sometimes in the books.
It could, they could have gone with the same thing. It's just that the way it's been portrayed, we feel like it's not the same. I mean, they don't want to take away her hair, that's for sure. But maybe it does take a blood sacrifice to withstand fire, which would mean that. Well, Jon, did he actually touch the fire? I think he did. He only touched the lantern around it. And that one was hot, so I don't think he is immune to anything when you compare him to Dany. But I don't think it takes away his Targaryen heritage in any way. And I mean, he wrote on Rhaegal, so I mean, it's still a part of him.
Bran is just like Doctor Strange in Endgame. If he tells people what is going to happen, it's not going to happen. That's why he don't tell everything. Don't talk about Endgame, please. We didn't see the movie
Someone did tell me, though, that Bran cannot see the future. So when people say, well, he predicted it, like he gave Arya the dagger, or he knows how it's going to end, but he doesn't do anything. It's true that if you know the future, it's a good reason why you're never going to say it. Because, I mean, if you say something, it's going to change. But I do believe that Bran cannot see the future. He can understand the past so much that he has a vague idea of how it's gonna plan out, But I don't think he knows what's gonna happen. So at this point, I think him not reacting at all is more about the fact that he doesn't connect with anyone. Like when he went to Tyrion and he basically said, "You don't want to be me. I'm just an observer." Like he doesn't care about anything anymore.
I was glad though. We kind of see more emotion on his face
We saw it a little bit, like
since the Night King is dead.
yeah. Maybe it's because he has the time to focus on what he's become now that the threat is gone. And it's true that it's sad. Like he is no one. He has no ties to anything because he remembers Brendan Stark's life just as much as he remembers everyone else's life, and that doesn't make him all the others. So, and he is conscious of that. Like he understands.
You know what I think right now? I don't know if you've seen Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, but Bran reminds me of King Bradley. Since he's got all the past lives in his head, all the maybe previous three-eyed ravens, he's not Bran anymore. He's another entity completely.
Yeah, he is not Bran. He did say it. I'm not Bran anymore. So that's not a theory. It's a fact.
I know. Oh. I think Bran still cares for the end game in the end, but he's ready to sacrifice anyone in order to have a good ending for mankind, I think.
That's the thing. Since he doesn't have any ties to anyone, and he cannot care. Like it's not he doesn't want to. He cannot care about anyone at all. He doesn't really care either if they die. It's not gonna make him sad. That's just how the story goes. That's life, and that's all he's about right now. The story.
Bran also saw a dragon shadow flying over King's Landing in a vision.
That's gonna be next episode.
I can't wait, guys. I can't wait.
Drogon is gonna burn that thing down. I don't know if he's actually gonna do it the way we think he's gonna do it, because I mean, Euron is still there to keep him at bay. So someone needs to take care of Euron first, and then we'll see what happens.
The show has hinted it can see the future twice now. It saw the wildfire explosion of the set back in season 4, and it seemed to have set up Arya's victory by giving her the Catspot dagger.
It's true, I kind of forgot about the visions. You did see, his visions are like quick flashes, so after that I think he needs to maybe make sense of them. And now that he is not Brendan Stark and he is not, controlled by anything other than his logic, that might be easier for him. But it's true, we've been saying he doesn't see the future, but he did have visions several times. So maybe that's the way they're going with this. Maybe he did have a glimpse and he believed that was going to end up being important without knowing how it was really going to pan out. I don't know.
I need the dragon to kill Euron so I can say you're on fire now. That's a good one. Oh,
that's very good.
So Bran has transcended Bran or not? It depends on how you look at it.
He did say he was not Brendan Stark anymore. I think he's right when he says that. Like, I mean, what makes you who you are is your memories, your experiences, what you've been through, and the emotions that are related to these memories. But since he has the memories of the world now, there is no way for him to relate. There's no way for him to feel attached to these particular memories because they feel the same as all the others. So, Bran is dead.
Oh. The vision of the past seemed clear, like being there, while the dreams could be metaphorical or just glimpses.
But the future is not set in stone. Like a butterfly, fluttering its wings somewhere could end up, causing a tornado or a storm somewhere else.
Miles ahead.
So if you crush that bug, so many things are gonna change. Butterfly effect. So when he gets his visions, they might be about several outcomes. And he just doesn't know what to make of them. After that, he just needs to go with the most obvious one. Like, he might not know how it was going to end, but he had glimpses of many ways it could end. And knowing that there was a chance that Arya might have to kill the Night King, he gave her the dagger. That's possible.
What do you think of Daenerys' vision about King's Landing she had and the House of Undying? It is true that since the Night King is dead, the winter and King's Landing doesn't mean that it's gonna come to King's Landing.
Some people have said that it's not snow, it's ashes. Could be that she is gonna destroy her own dream. Like she's gonna destroy the throne room, and there's not gonna be a King's Landing anymore. There is not going to be a need for a king or a queen because there is not going to be a throne. So it could be that it's ashes and she has seen like the destruction of the place. But I like the theory that it's snow and that it meant that Jon was going to end up on the throne. But the throne of what? I mean, he's going to be king of a broken kingdom because I feel like she's still going to destroy the place. So,
you know what I think? The more I saw it, the more I think that they're going to put Dany down a path of
the throne will go to snow.
Of anger and madness, and Jon might have to put an end to it.
Yeah, some people
even
have
if I
talked
cheer
about
for
that.
my girl since I first saw her in season 1.
She's her favorite character.
She was. Her and I are both my favorite characters for so many years, but to love someone enough to allow them to rest in peace because they cannot go back from the path that they chose. Just like Jaime know that Cersei is too far gone to adopt reason and stop this madness.
So he's setting her free.
So he wants to set her free. If he does that, that would be great. If Jon truly loved Dany, like we think he does, and you see what she's becoming, what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He might want to set her free.
The thing with that theory is, as beautiful as it sounds and as sad as it would be, we have no time to explore it. Having Jon kill Dany at this point in the show would be completely mad. It's like Jon loves her way too much to do this, for one, and she hasn't proved that she is too far gone to be brought back yet. So yeah, next episode she's gonna go really mad and she's gonna destroy stuff and she's gonna fight, but she's sad, she's stressed, she's been through a lot. There is no way that he's gonna kill her at this point, thinking she's too far gone. So I don't know. Maybe in the books, I don't know. But in the show, there's not enough time left for this. Staying on the visions for Dany, her reaching to the throne, never touching it, I think it means that, yeah, she's never going to end up on that throne. She probably will die because I've always seen it as, well, now we know it's not true, but her going north to the wall, then crossing the wall, and then ending up in the tent with Drogo and her son, meant to me that she was gonna go north, help fight the war, and die there, never reaching her goal. Like she was gonna choose the battle for against the Night King over the throne, and she was gonna end up dying there and going to Drogo and her son in the afterlife. But now we know she didn't die fighting the Night King, so her seeing Drogo and her son could still mean that she is gonna die. But we'll have to find out if it actually happens that way. I don't know if it's because they kept as much of the visions that happened in the books in the show and ended up not going through with it. I don't even know if George told them the meaning of the visions, but the vision in the books is a lot more different than it is in the show. So
yes. It would be nice if Yara Fairy
the Dornish,
and then cut your own from behind. You did not roll that down, please. That would be
what? You cut a joke that doesn't exist.
Cut your own from behind.
It's not a joke.
I know it's a little. Sorry. But yeah, I think it would be nice for Yara to be the one to
kill Euron,
kill our uncle,
since he got her kidnapped and taken prisoner for like most of the last season and like the first episode of this one. It's true that she could be the one actually putting an end to Euron. And I mean, at first, like I said, I thought he was going to fight Jon, but it looks like they're going to be on different ends of the battlefield. So he's going to be on the boats, and he has the weapons to stop Drogon, so someone is going to need to stop him on the boats. Yara is the only one who could do this. And it's true, like, they're not going to go there without all of their forces, so maybe he's going to, keep them at bay for a long time, and eventually they're going to show up. I would love that, because, I mean, that could be a great way of saying you still have allies, what you did last season. Dany has been saying, I've been following your advices, doing what you wanted. It gave me nothing. It could end up that, yes, it's gonna help in the end. She still has allies, like, she doesn't need to go at it with fire and blood. We'll find out.
I was kind of let down by the writing in this episode 4, even though I love episode 3. Hopefully, the last episode will at least be satisfying.
It's tricky with Game of Thrones nowadays because I feel like we're so close to the end. It's easy to find faults to the show. It's easy to see where it goes wrong and forget where it goes right. Because I mean, we're not gonna get everything that we want. Like they're rushing this a little bit, and they don't have the time to explore it because it costs so much now that, like Ghost, for example, John just leaving without patting him. Could be that they have a reason for this. Could be that Ghost will come back in the last during the last fight to save John's ass because Tormund decided that he cares too much and before he's gonna go north, he's gonna save him in the south. Yeah. Could be. I don't think, but could be. So if it happens, yeah, we're gonna have our farewell. But it could also be that they didn't have the money to work with the CGI and have John pat Ghost. So because they don't have the money, they are robbing us of opportunities and more episodes to better, lay down the story. Because, I mean, people have been complaining about Game of Thrones, especially since season 5, I think. I think season 5, that's where it started to go down. And that's when the books and the show started to really go apart.
Yeah.
But, I mean, people are mad that the show and the books don't fit. After the books ended up being like not there for the showrunners, they had to find the story themselves, and if they don't know the ending, it feels like a fan fiction, and sometimes a fan fiction can be good or bad.
Yeah. Sun rising in the west and setting in the east could be a book reference to Quentin Martell, Sun Sigil going from Westeros to Essos and his eventual fate. Seas dry may be a reference to a drop in Dothraki Sea, and mountain blows in the wind like leaves. Whoops. Could reference a future volcanic eruption. Ash flies on the wind. I think there's a volcano near King's Landing or something.
Is it? We never saw it in the show, at least. I mean, that's another thing that it's a beautiful thing that we can analyze. It's a prophecy that makes sense if you have the time to explore it. But, I mean, in the show, they ended up brushing that to the side by only saying, did you ever thought that she might not be a reliable source of information? And haha, it's funny, but I mean, it just puts the prophecy to the trash. On the other hand, though, we thought that Dany was going to be pregnant by this point, and so far she's not. And it looks like Jon really has a problem with her being his aunt, so he's not doing this the way we thought he was going to do it, which is okay. Like, I mean, it makes sense. So I don't think they are going to address it, which is sad because they had this potential, they had this material to work with, and because of budget, because of restrictions, and because of the fact that I think they are better at writing action scenes than they are at writing plot scenes like discussions and stuff. So it's too mainstream, and they don't have the capacity to go deep into the subject and just stretch their web and have us wonder. So that I think that's where we're going to lose all these prophecies. They're not going to make sense to us in the show because they're not going to address them at all.
Yeah. Which one you choose, Jon or Dany, or someone else if to be on the throne, as we don't see both Jon and Dany together at all? If she doesn't do 100 turn around, Dany won't be fitting to sit on the throne at all. Jon is my biggest lead as of now for who deserves to sit on the Iron Throne.
He deserves the opportunity and he has the heart for it, but he doesn't have the brains to play the game. And as much as he might want to stop that game from happening,
if he's on the throne, his hand could be Tyrion.
Or Davos.
Tyrion has the brains for the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
not
but
Davos.
He doesn't trust Tyrion as much. I mean, why would he keep Tyrion on? It's true that, I mean, if he ends up being the king, he will need to have people around him that can play the game. Tyrion is very good at playing the game. And I mean, he is enough like Jon so they could, work well together. So having Tyrion on would be great. Varys is a goner, so we're not going to have Varys. Sansa could be the new Littlefinger, as if she's gonna take care of the plotting, she's gonna take care of the secrets, she's gonna take care of everything, and she's gonna protect him.
She's gonna have little birds everywhere.
But I personally think that to have Jon on the throne would be a good way of breaking the wheel, because I feel like Dany has been falling into that wheel more and more. And on a good story level, to have Dany sit on the throne, it's too cliche at this point. She wants it too bad. And I mean, her whole life is surrounded. It's around the throne now. I mean, she almost lost her way with Jon because of that throne. Well, she kind of lost her way with Jon with that throne. So yeah,
I will choose no throne at all. Monarchy, has led to nothing but bad things most of the time. I think it might also be a possibility that by the end of season 8, there is simply no one on the throne.
When we're being asked this question, we all answer who we want on the throne, but I also prefer that ending. We did address it a few times here and there.
I just said that it would be great to have just like a republic, like every big house in Westeros is on a council and they decide the fate of the people.
Yeah, they meet up once in a while and decide for the rest.
Like King Arthur and his...
The round table?
Round table knights.
Bittersweet ending is true. It's looking like it is going to be true. Like, we're going to have... Dany's going to die. If Dany dies, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the bittersweet end that we've been expecting. But, and I mean, Game of Thrones needs to stay true to Game of Thrones and give us an ending that we did not expect. So at this point right now, what we expect is for either Jon and Dany to end up on the throne. So if Dany dies and Jon ends up going north with Ghost and there is no throne left anymore, it's an ending that would kind of fit Game of Thrones. But one other thing is the show is called Game of Thrones. So I don't know if it's a good ending to literally just destroy the game and have no Game of Thrones anymore. That would be one way. Or it needs to still be there as if saying you might want to change that wheel, but it's still going to be a part of you because that's human nature to want things and to want power. And it's true. That's also very, that's ice and fire. Like, human nature makes people want things, and no matter the consequences to others, you know?
Jon will probably kill Dany. I don't see Jon killing Dany. Unexpected, it's both die. I don't know if Jon will have the guts to kill Dany if he needs to, but let me remind you something. When he had the chance to choose Ygritte to live with her, he was so much in love with her. He chose duty because that was the honorable thing to do. He left her behind. If it comes to it, Jon might do the same thing again.
But again, I'm going to bring back what I told you earlier. What reason does he have to kill Dany? She is not that mad.
If Dany really ends up wanting to kill thousands of innocents, Jon will do it.
It's true that
because
he sees it that way.
Wants to protect the people.
If he sees it that way, maybe. But at this point, I mean, if Jon was going to end up killing Dany, I think they would have played it a lot sooner and a lot faster. Like Dany's descent into madness, they would have been way more obvious with it than they are now. So I feel like it's not the outcome that we'll get, but I do think Dany is going to die. After everything she's been through and everything she's going through right now, I feel like that's the end that she's going to get. It's going to be sad. Like, we're going to cry so much.
Dany may attack Sansa. What side will Jon be on? If she attacks Sansa, he's gonna be on his family's side.
She already attacked Dany, to be fair, by telling Tyrion that Jon was Aegon Targaryen. She attacked Dany because she knew it was going to cause a fight between them. So Jon is way too far right now to know what's going on in the north. So I don't even know if he's going to come back to the north.
Jon might kill Dany if Dany accidentally kills Arya in the Red Keep.
That's true, though. As much as he loves Dany, his family will always come first.
Yeah.
So he might never speak to Sansa again. He might not... I mean, he doesn't agree with her most of the time anyway, so there's that. But if Dany ends up hurting Arya, there's a very good chance that he's gonna see red.
What is favorite little sister?
If both dies, who should be on the throne? No one. The thing with Jon being on the throne to me is that we've never had a guy from the people, because that's what he is. He's a bastard at heart. So to have someone understand the people on the throne makes sense. But if he's not on the throne, anyone who's going to become the new king or queen will just make the wheel keep on rolling.
It depends on if both Jon and Dany doesn't end up on the throne. My best guess after that, my best choices, even though I think that she won't come out, will be Sansa and Tyrion, because they had a thing together. If both of them are on the throne as king and queen, the reign will be in good hands, because Sansa thinks of the people.
What I fear is that if Sansa ever gets the throne, she will end up becoming more like Cersei than she wants. We already saw that when Dany showed up in the north, she started, and it's funny because when she was like, "Oh, what do dragons eat anyway?" and then Dany was like, "Whatever they want." The way she said it, it was so much like Cersei, so much like Lena Headey. The way she acted, I felt like she's at risk of maybe becoming the people that she hates the most if she is ever put in that position. So that's why I fear, which could be why it's great to have Tyrion by her side, like to control her a little bit. But I think she has the skills to be a good queen if she wants, but I don't know, she doesn't have the heart for it.
Sansa is a scary combination of Cersei and Littlefinger now, playing people against each other with ease.
I didn't say Sansa would be the best queen. She's starting to be. No, that I agree. She's queen of the game. Exactly. That's a very good way of saying this. She's queen of the game. And that's why I'm afraid that if she is put in that position, she will, or she might become more like Cersei. So I don't think Sansa is the best choice. Tyrion, if he ends up being king, no one will listen to him. People will end up laughing. He doesn't have...
no one wants to listen to him, you would say?
Well, I mean, as much as he gathers people around him and make them listen when he wants to, what he is, sadly, in this world, will not make him a king that people will follow. People won't, respect him as much. So as sad as it is, Tyrion cannot be king. As for the others, Arya is not made for this, so Arya is not. I would put Gendry.
So Sansa with a child from Ramsay. I think it's been months since Ramsay is dead. I think she would have been showing if she was pregnant.
It's true. I think it was a good theory. Like, I love the idea, especially after he said, like, I'll always be a part of you. And it ended up being that people were like, oh shit, she's pregnant. I think that they kind of pushed that to the side as well. It's been 2 seasons. So it's been a while. I don't think she is pregnant, nor is Dany, but that would have been something they could have played with, and they didn't take the opportunity.
You did not bring that up. Flashback, la grande herbeuse.
No! La mère herbeuse, ça?
La mère herbeuse.
Oh, no. The comic players would have a field day if Tyrion became king. Yeah, totally. But yeah, that's why
that would be a great twist.
I mean, they were already calling him Demon Monkey back when Joffrey was king. So Daenerys,
maybe a lady.
Daenerys du Typhon. Stop it! No.
Maybe a lady in the lake would choose a new leader with a sword.
Sorry, what?
Maybe a lady in the lake would choose a new leader with a sword. That's King Arthur.
Yeah,
by the way. But yeah, technically, if you put Jon aside, if you put Dany aside, you said that we need someone from the people to understand the people. So that will be Gendry.
As much as he doesn't fit in this universe, and as much as he probably doesn't want it, he knows nothing about being a lord. So imagine about being a king. At least Jon grew up in a family made of lords and
castle,
stuff. Yeah, so he knows a bit of that. But, I mean, Gendry would have the heart for it, but he would be a terrible king at the end of the day. So
if he doesn't have Arya by his side, it means nothing to him.
And Arya's going to do that. Yeah. So who's
left?
And
being a queen is worse than being a lady of a castle, technically.
Yeah. And, I mean, who's left after that? Like, I mean, Sam is not a king.
No.
The Hound. Let's go with the Hound. The Hound is gonna become the king.
Gendry is now the male heir to the throne.
Technically, yes, but since the Baratheons have been destroyed, no. That's how conquerors work, basically. That as much as Dany says, "Oh, I mean, I'm the true heir to the throne," ever since the Baratheons won over the Targaryens, it's not true. The throne doesn't belong to the Targaryens any longer. So if she wants the throne, she needs to defeat Cersei, who has it now. The Baratheons are not on the throne anymore, so the Lannisters are the true heirs, and Gendry doesn't have the claim, which means that Jon doesn't have the claim either. But if they end up winning, if the Targaryens end up winning, then that's how it works, I think.
Cersei's claim is from marrying a Baratheon.
It's true. I mean, from all of them, she has the least claim to the throne, because, I mean, she's not even supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
She's not from the royal family at all. And the only reason why she's on there is because there was no one left to take the throne. And everyone was listening to her at this point because they were scared. She just blew up the set, so I would listen too if she threatened me with that.
What if Dany chose to return to Meereen in order to rule in a more familiar place and leave Westeros to Jon?
Oh.
Like we did say that to have a ruler in the south and north would be the best. Like someone, if both of them end up marrying each other, they can unify the south and the north.
Mm-hmm.
But to have
someone in Essos and someone in Westeros,
unified continents.
Oh, that would be great. And I mean, it's interesting too, because as much as she wants to be part of Westeros, she just doesn't get it. She grew up in Essos. She is not from Westeros. She's not home now. She doesn't understand their ways, their traditions. And I mean, she's been following this idea because her brother put it in her head, but she has never belonged to this place. So I think if she doesn't die, that could be an ending that would fit with her character. I love that. Just like I love the ending that Arya is going to travel the world and just seek places and maybe, travel to ruins and see stuff.
What parts of Game of Thrones would you miss? What part do you think they will improve in the other spin-off shows?
Improve in the other spin-off shows all the lore about the Night King and all the lore about the prophecy, Azer Ahai, all that stuff. That's
they
something...
need to develop more about that subject because they didn't have time to do it in the main show Game of Thrones, and they just everything that they pushed aside. Technically, I would love for them to bring them up and explain them completely in detail.
Which is why I said if they're pulling in Teen Wolf here and just not giving us the details because they're expecting them to be in the spin-offs, I'm gonna be mad. But I'm gonna be at least glad that we got the information in the spin-offs. If they are good, I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna enjoy them. So everything that concerns the Night King, the long night, Azer Ahai, that would be good. How the wall got built. What's this? Why must we always have a Stark in Winterfell? Is there really a dragon under the cliffs? All that stuff I would love to see. So that's great. What I will miss from the show, a lot of things. Mostly, I think I care about the characters a lot, and I'll just miss them personally. I don't miss. I mean, in many shows we get the battles. In many shows we get the music. In many shows we get all the schemings and stuff. Like there are so many good shows nowadays that all we have in Game of Thrones we can seek in other shows. But these characters, their backstory and the weight that they bring with their name, that's what I'm gonna miss most.
Usurp is to take what is someone else's right, but no one had the right. Cersei only has power as a mean of terror. That's why she's still ruling.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there was no one there to take the throne, so she didn't usurp the throne. She just took what was left. So at this point, she's queen because she sat on it first, which would have been basically what Jaime could have done or Ned Stark could have done when the war was won. Like he could have taken the throne. No one was left to take it. And then Robert, having won the war, instead of the throne going to the other Targaryens, he took it from them. Well, he was a usurper, but it's true. Since there were more Targaryens left, Ned couldn't be like Cersei either. So Cersei just ended up finding a throne that was empty, and she sat on it.
Just like that. Have the queen.
Isn't Jon Snow a pawn of the fire god? It's tricky because I mean, he's technically a fire white.
He is.
So George said it in the books. At least he will be. In the show, he is alive only because he is, he has a purpose. So when we were addressing what would happen with Jon at the end of the show, I felt like maybe that's how it's going to happen. Like Jon will fulfill his purpose.
And died.
Yeah, and die. Because once he's done, that's the only reason why he's alive. By all means, he's supposed to be dead right now.
Yeah.
So, but then it depends on why he was brought back. If his purpose was to bring peace to the realm, then he might not die once this is achieved because he needs to keep the peace. So I don't know. If he ends up on the throne, he's probably gonna live. But because the fire, ruler, he's taking care of him. I mean, he's so freaking lucky nowadays. I don't think he's gonna die. But if his purpose is to do something else, like, I don't know, stop the war, actually kill Cersei, help the actual ruler who's going to end up on the throne, be on the throne.
That's the thing I discussed with you about all that prophecy of Azor Ahai and Lightbringer.
Azor Ahai?
Azor Ahai, that's right? Okay. Some of you said that maybe Arya was Lightbringer because she defeated Night King, and only Lightbringer could do it. But Jon might be Azor Ahai.
Jon?
Yeah, Jon, or Kitty. Might be Azor Ahai. And bring back dawn, bring back peace in the realm. And he needs to keep it.
We'll find out. I like what she said, that Jon is on his own now. Maybe his luck is going to turn. That could be possible. Because, I mean... what?
Azor Chai, the latte that was promised. Don't make us laugh. It's way too short for that. We're just gonna shut up after that.
Anyway, but no, I like that now. Maybe he's not gonna be as lucky because next week's episode we're gonna see him fight, and that's one thing I didn't like in episode 3: the fact that he was on the dragon the entire time, and we didn't get to actually see him be Jon, be a fighter, the swordsman that he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be one of the best.
We were promised.
He's supposed to be one of the best, so I want him to fight with the sword. And if the stakes are high next episode, I'm gonna enjoy it. As much as I love Jon, I love seeing him struggle too.
What if someone managed to bribe the Golden Company in order to betray Cersei and Euron? Could Sansa do that? Where would Sansa get the gold? Do you think Cersei would get her elephants?
The diseased Starks in their crypts. I don't know. Maybe they hid the stuff in the crypts. It's true that the Golden Company follows the highest bidder, the one that pays them. They are loyal to their contract, but they are like Bronn. And you cannot...
Do you think that maybe the Prince and Dorne could bribe the Golden Company?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got cash.
I mean, they're gonna to me, it looks like the gold... okay. Euron is gonna be on the ships fighting the Unsullied on their ships and maybe fighting Yara. And Dany's gonna be Hunter Dragon doing God knows what. Jon might be facing with the Northmen and the Foot Army. He's gonna be facing the Golden Company. So how that's gonna pan out, I don't know. I think it might be too late because we actually see them on the field together. I don't think we have time for someone to pay them. Hey, I have money here. Stop fighting. I don't think it's gonna happen.
She was pretty disappointed about the elephants. I can see them showing up.
How? They flew there? I don't think they managed to bring them overseas. Will Bronn kill someone by the end? Is he going to get a castle?
He's gonna sit on the fudging throne. That's what he's gonna get. A freaking castle.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die without ever having
but
anything.
Seriously,
I want him to...
I'm a bit disappointed because I thought that his bromance with Tyrion and Jaime was worth more than gold.
He still has time to redeem himself. If he ends up dying saving one of the two, or...
But it is true that technically when it matters, he's got a good heart. He saved Jaime. He saved Tyrion.
He cares.
Multiple
He
times.
genuinely cares. But I think after everything he's been through, especially in season 7, he feels like he's been cheated. Like, you know, when he felt the dragons and he really thought he was gonna die, he kind of noticed that he's participating in these wars and he ends up having nothing to show for it, and he almost dies every single time. So I think he's just done. He wants what he was promised, and so he's playing tough right now, but he genuinely cares. So
maybe the CGI budget went into elephants instead of wolves this season.
fucking no, come on, if that's no.
They bring back ghosts on elephants.
He was supposed to do something great this season, and he ended up doing nothing. That pisses me off. That's why I'm kind of hoping that we will see him again.
I'm surprised they didn't offer the twins since it's too costly to Bronn.
Oh, they could have. There's no one left of the twins. It's not as big. It's not as big as Highgarden, though.
Yeah, not as big.
And to Bronn, I think he would be pretty pissed if you offered him the twins instead of like Riverrun or Highgarden. Because, I mean, there's a reason why Highgarden and Riverrun were both, like, the place to go to if you wanted to rule the Westerlands or,
the
I don't
Twins
know,
is the shittiest place in Westeros.
Yeah, exactly, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, the Twins are there, and what's great about the Twins is it's Kitty?
No, it's me. Yeah.
Anyway, the Twins is strategic. Blah, it's placed in the place where you have a lot of power because you get control over the river where people pass, you know? But it's the only thing it has for itself. Highgarden is a big place from where we could control the Reach. Like, it's the Reach. And Riverrun, it's the Riverlands. So the castle comes with strings attached. The Twins comes with a river. And the memories that Walder Frey sat in that throne.
Sorry. Hey, bro, here's a castle. Do you have land? Do you have water? What's that? Your water. It's a pond. It's a pond with golden fish in it. Sorry. With your experience of Game of Thrones series, will next episode will be grand as Game of Thrones have second last as the best?
It's true that next episode is technically episode 9. So all the shit is going to happen next episode. I have a feeling that if people are going to die in the last one, if there's stuff that's going to happen in the last one, it's going to be stuff that we're going to know right away that it's going to happen. Because, I mean, so far, the finales in Game of Thrones are set to make us come back from the shock of episode 9 and have us understand where this is going to take us, like where this is going. We have had a few surprises in the past. Jon was killed in episode 10, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So,
who will rule Bear Island?
Oh, it's true. There's no one left in Bear. Arya! Let's put her there. She's not made for that life, I know, but still. I mean, at this point, you're gonna have to start giving lordship to people who don't have a lordship, and just go, you get Bear Island, you get Riverlands, you get Highgarden, you get Castle Rock. Everyone gets the land.
Everyone gets a castle.
Yeah.
Oppa's gonna go to Westeros and give castle to everyone left and right.
Exactly. Give Tormund Bear Island. Oh, he could.
Yeah, he could fake berries all night and day.
I don't know. Fifth cousins. Yeah. I don't know if there are any Mormons left after the battle. They are so fierce, they might have thrown themselves in the middle of it and died.
By the way, I want to have you input on something that I read online. I read that a theories that the bear that Tormund fucked might have been Lyanna's Mormont's mother. What do you think about that?
I don't agree with that theory.
But she was named the she-bear, technically.
Yeah, but why would he go to that island? I mean, Tormund has been south many times, you know, by going over the wall, but I don't think he ever went south enough to go to Bear Island.
It's actually so nice to have the wildlings having their own island.
Well, yeah, I mean, they deserve at least something. It looks like they're going to have at least Castle Black and the wall, but they need the land to run around and hunt and stuff. This is where they grew up. This is what they know. But now at least they know that if they ever want to go south, they can. So that's great.
Tormund never went south of the wall before, though Berland is near the wall, though.
No, but didn't he say that he
I think
climbed it a few
he
times?
went south a few times, yeah. Do you think Dany will go full Mad Queen, killing a big part of the population of King's Landing? If that happens, she will not only lose allies, but Jon will probably end up killing her.
That's what you said, as in if she ends up killing the innocents, that could be what pushes Jon to stop her. Because I mean, at this point, there is no reason for him to kill her,
No.
at all. But it depends on what she does. I still have hope that she might turn around at the last moment and do the right thing. But we're gonna have to see. It depends on what they want Dany's fate to be.
Oh.
I don't want her to die because she became the bad one, you know? She's been with us since the beginning, after everything she's been through. If she dies without a redemption, or if she dies becoming the Mad Queen, I'm gonna feel cheated a little bit. It's gonna be too sad. It's not gonna be a bittersweet ending. It's just gonna be bitter.
A tragedy.
Yeah. Oh my God, Dany considering executing Jon.
Solidify her claim.
Weirdly enough, I don't know.
Well, before the secret was out, she begged him to never tell a soul about his true identity.
And
now the secret is out. She might do something about it. And I fear for Jon's safety.
Still, let's not forget, like, for as much as we say that she's, you know, falling into madness a little bit, she is still Daenerys. She did kill Viserys, but she loves Jon. She didn't love Viserys. So I don't think she will even, you know, try. She might get mad. Like, she might say some pretty harsh things. She might do some stuff. But I don't think she's going to execute him at all. I love the theory that she's going to go back to Essos. It's sad, but at least she'll be alive. So if she doesn't die, I love that theory. I don't know. I'm going to root for her to survive, but still.
Will it be, though? She went through hardship all of her life. She traveled from Essos to Westeros to claim back her home, her throne. She ended up losing half of her, probably all of her Dothraki army.
Some of them are still
Unsullied. Missandei is dead. I don't think she's gonna go back to Essos because that would be all for nothing if she go back to Essos. Not after Missandei's death. Not after that.
Yeah, but it depends on what happens next episode. What would be our strategy if we were in Daenerys' shoes concerning Jon and Cersei? Well, for one, if I was Daenerys, I would ask to marry Jon.
Unify the South and the North.
I mean, she wants the throne so much, and it's true. Like, she needs the support of the North. I would ask for a wedding. Why not? He represents the North. She represents the South. He's the rightful heir, so he deserves the throne just as much as her, if not more. I would ask for a wedding.
Calm down.
And having him become and actually sharing the throne, they could do it. Like, I would listen to him, he would listen to me, and we would share. That's the way I would do this. Marry Jon, secure the North that way. And I mean, if they want their independence, I would give it to them solely based on the fact that the king is now the guy from the North. Like, he's from the North. He represents the North. So let's leave them with their problems. Let's let them, you know, deal with their things. But Jon still secures the North. It's not part of the Seven Kingdoms, but he has the tie, just like in a wedding. When you get, like, for example, two families to marry one another, it doesn't become one family. But it makes sure that eventually the descendants are going to unify these two families into one. So she could give the North their independence, but still secure the future of the Seven Kingdoms, knowing that their kid is going to be just as much a Northman as it is a Southerner.
Yeah.
So that's good. As for Cersei, since she hid in the Red Keep, I would resort with... my strategy would be to send people, just like she did in Yunkai. I would probably send people into King's Landing undercover. People that know the tunnels, people that know the secret passageway, people that grew up there maybe. I would send them in and spread the word. try to talk shit about Cersei. Just like John said, like make them riot against Cersei. If she doesn't have the support of the people, she's vulnerable. So once that's done,
Hi, cutie.
I would actually use Varys's knowledge of the Red Keep, as well as Tyrion's strategies and stuff, and Arya's skills. I would send people into the Red Keep, through the passages, and I would have her murder. But only when the King's Landing is against her. Because if you murder Cersei without the support of King's Landing, I don't think they will follow you. So maybe I would smuggle in food and stuff. Without Cersei's knowing, like I would smuggle in, just like Davos did, I would smuggle in food, give them something to hope for. See, you see that food? We have that on the outside. All we need is for Cersei to go down. So follow us, give them food, give them something to believe in. And once that's done, send someone through the tunnels and have her assassinated. That's what I would do.
Arya wear Missandei's face. I'm back, bitches.
Revenge!
Damn, that would be too harsh for me, I guess.
Dany might end up losing too much during the war against Cersei, so she might give up the throne in the end or go really mad. It's possible. That's the thing. She's lost everything now.
I have the feeling that Cersei and Jaime will die together.
Me too.
You know what I just thought? With all the images and the theories that Dany will probably burn down the Red Keep, we know that Jaime is going back and King's Landing to Cersei, probably to kill her. I don't know why, but I have this image that Dany would burn down King's Landing, Cersei would probably try to escape and save herself, and Jaime's just gonna take her, hold her up, and say, "We die together and then burn together."
I swear to God, if he says the things we do for love and has her killed, that would be holy shit.
Oh,
I do think that Jaime believes if Cersei deserves to die, he deserves to die also. So if he kills her, he's gonna make sure that he goes with her. I think that's how he sees his character.
But I don't know what. I think it could be really sad and poetic that Jaime end up killing Cersei, end up killing himself too, but like Cersei will want to survive no matter what the odds. She won't try to escape, and if he's the one to keep her there, not letting her escape her fate, like, you stay there with me, we face what we must face
together.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe Jaime has done everything for Cersei, including going north to fight. He will not kill her. You said something earlier about the things we do for love. And, well, that's the saying. But, I mean, it's true that if he sees that the only way to save Cersei is to actually set her free, he might actually do it. Especially now that he's been with Brienne. I feel like, he did do a lot of things for Cersei.
Did I say during our reaction? But I told you that I saw Jaime looking at Brienne when they were in bed, and I never saw that look when you look at Cersei. Never.
I mean, sure, he did love Cersei. He did say it several times.
But it was a twisted love.
It was, but doesn't mean he didn't love her. Anyway, in any case, I feel like what broke the camel's back here was when Cersei almost killed him with the mountain, when he decided to go north and follow the pledge that he gave.
There's no indication that Jaime wants to kill Cersei. I don't know where this theory is coming from.
From our own theory of what's going to happen at the end of the show.
What we would like to see on the show. For Jaime to redeem himself is to destroy the thorn that he has in his back and his feet from all those years ago.
And I mean, it came from the fact that in the prophecy around Cersei, it says that the younger brother will kill her. And Jaime is technically a younger brother. And even though Tyrion might be the obvious choice, he's too obvious to be the one.
Yeah, about that. I don't know what to think about this. That's another theory that I've seen online about the younger brother thing. Do you remember in season 2? Yeah, in season 2 when Arya was in Harrenhal and Tywin took her as his cupbearer.
Mm-hmm.
And he took her under his wing. Some people said that since Tywin took her under his wing, under his kind of protection, she and she was this guy as a boy, and during that time, she might be the younger brother of Cersei, so that she could be the one to kill her at the end.
I think it's a far-fetched theory to prove that Arya will kill Cersei.
It's a far-fetched one.
And I don't think she will, so I'm not going to follow that theory, but I mean, go ahead and believe whatever you want.
I'm not believing anything. I'm just reading stuff.
How is Jaime honorable? The thing with Jaime is that we tend to forget what his character is about because of all the bad things that he's been doing. But I mean, the reason why he did those things... He killed the Mad King because he wanted to protect the people from King's Landing. That's honorable because he knew that that was committing treason and that was going against his vows as a knight. So that was honorable. After that, as twisted as it was, he has always been loyal to Cersei. But because of that, it's true, he didn't do honorable things. But once he got separated from Cersei, and once Cersei started, not appreciating him as much, like when she started sleeping with her cousin, and when she started belittling him and seeing him as this different man because of the hand, and once he met Brienne, he started doing honorable things again. It's like he lost sight of who he truly was for a time, and then he went back to it. Like, he literally, he didn't know he was going to lose a hand, but he literally lost a hand to save Brienne's dignity. Then he jumped into the pit with the bear to protect her. That takes a lot of courage, and that's being a true knight, I feel like. And the most honorable thing I can think of was when he chose to defy Cersei in order to go north and fight against the White Walkers, because that's what he pledged he was going to do. That's what he said he was going to do, so he did it. That's honorable, knowing that he wasn't going to be received well. Yeah.
The scene of Jaime leaving Brienne is ambiguous. I'm not sure if he wants to kill Cersei or withdraw her, but my gut tells me he wants to kill her and end all the madness of her reign. Even if he doesn't want to kill her, we don't know about that, he wants to go south to Cersei to put a hand to something. He knows that she won't back down no matter what she being thrown at. She won't give up the throne because she thinks that she has a right to have it. It's hers. And maybe he thinks that he has a better chance than everyone else to convince her to give up the throne. If he doesn't want to kill her, that's my thing. But I don't think that he's gonna go back to Cersei as a lover.
About Jaime leaving Brienne and being mean to her so she wouldn't follow and everything, we all saw how that strategy worked with Tyrion. True, but they're brothers. They're bound to make the same mistakes. And I mean, Brienne is not... she's totally different from Shae, so I don't think she will ever betray Jaime because of what he did. I think she sees right through him, and that's why she cried in that moment. I think what the tragedy is, she sees him as this guy who is unable to see how good he truly is. I think that's what Brienne believes when it comes to Jaime. She thinks that Jaime is worth a lot of things. He's an honorable man, and he deserves a happy life, but he is unable to see this because of how honorable he is, because of all the bad things he's done. He sees himself as unexcusable. He doesn't see a good life for him in the future, so he chose to go back to the madness. I think that's what she believes in that scene. And Jaime, I do believe he did say those things to Brienne, partly because he believes them. Like, he deserves the madness because he did so many wrong things. He is just as crazy as Cersei. But he did, he made sure to say, I did this, I did this, I did this. I deserve to be with Cersei, in order for her to realize that he's a bad man, so she shouldn't follow him. She shouldn't love him. Because he believes he's going to die in King's Landing.
Jaime killing a pregnant Cersei will really fit with the honorable character arc. He has to kill the woman he loves to carry his child for the sake of honor, the biggest sacrifice possible.
Yeah, and to me, it's a bit like Theon. Like in season 7, I think I did say that the only way for me to redeem completely Theon, no matter what he went through, would be for him to sacrifice himself protecting a Stark, which he did. So, Same thing with Jaime. The only way for me to... I love Jaime. He's one of my favorite characters. But the only way for me to redeem him completely of what he did would be for him to overcome his love for Cersei and do this.
How will Jaime killing a pregnant woman be honorable, though?
I believe that she's... I don't know if she's gonna lose the baby before or anything, but it's true that now that she's pregnant, he might not want to stop her that way. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Perhaps Jaime will pull Cersei off the edge of a towering cliff to kill them both as an homage to pushing Bran long ago.
Oh, that would be so
The irony.
good.
Like the same tower that Tommen jumped through, or
Tommen, I don't know if the same if it's gonna be the same window, but it's true that pushing them both down the tower the way they push Bran,
where it all begins.
the way it all began.
Yeah, just like in Harry
Kind of,
Potter.
kind of. But it's true now that she's pregnant. There is an innocent life there, so he might not want to do it. So it would depend on what Cersei's gonna say, what she's gonna try to do, and if she actually is still pregnant.
I still believe that the prophecy to the young Cersei is still in play. Cersei has to be taken down by someone younger and more beautiful. Is Jaime more beautiful than Cersei? Yes, he is.
Is Jamine? Is he more beautiful? Well, it depends on your taste.
Well, he's younger than her, and he's as beautiful as his sister.
I believe when it comes to the younger one, the more beautiful one, I think it meant Marjorie. So many people are saying Daenerys. I think it actually meant Marjorie, and she did manage to take her down. It's just that she didn't die from it, and she raised from her ashes, literally, create more ashes.
Brienne is the beauty.
That could be that too.
Oh.
That could be that, and that's if that's the case.
By the way, I don't know for you guys, but seeing her without her armor, she looks so good. Seriously.
We've seen her in season.
No,
3.
but anyway,
she is a beautiful woman. Have you seen the actress?
Of course, I've seen her.
So I mean, it's just that they make her look so masculine and so like blend as Brienne of Tarth, and it's the way it's supposed to be. I actually think she's too beautiful to be Brienne. Brienne is supposed to be way worse than that, and she's not worse. I mean, Brienne is okay.
Do you think Cersei will have a good death, not like the Night King?
Since they made her the last villain standing, I think we will have something great. Because I mean, the thing with death and killing a main character like this is it's gonna happen fast, no matter what we want. That's how it is in real life. I mean, you don't 1 second you're alive, the other you're not. So I think it's if we might still feel mad about this, like we might not like how it's gonna happen, but since it's the finale, since it's the ending of Game of Thrones and she's the last villain, at least I think they're gonna give us a little bit of satisfaction. I think we're gonna like how it's gonna play out.
Cersei to Margaria, not the other way around. Yeah, Marjorie, sorry.
Marjorie.
Not the other way around.
At the end, yes, but at first, because of the faith and everything, first of all, she managed to take her place as queen. Literally, she became the queen. For a second, she was. And then there was the faith. They took Marjorie away, and for a second, Cersei thought she had won. But then Marjorie ended up playing on the side of not the faith, but the Sparrow, the High Sparrow. She ended up being with the High Sparrow, and she played them. And then Cersei ended up being on in the prison. So Marjorie was, rising from there, and she was winning, and Cersei was facing trial. So I think Marjorie did win for a second, and then Cersei went crazy and she blew up the sept. So I don't know. Many people say it's Daenerys. It could be Daenerys too, but I think too many people believe it's supposed to be Daenerys. So I'll just put my money on Marjorie and say at least she did something good.
Even going by Jaime's retelling, it's still dishonorable to kill the person you swore an oath to protect. Barristan admits Aerys was mad, but he still wouldn't have done it.
It's true, but we had a conversation with soldiers. I think it was during Fullmetal Alchemist. But what's honorable when you have to follow orders blindly at this point? I mean, what's the most honorable thing to do? Follow and know that what you're going to do is going to cause death? Or take on yourself the blame, dishonor yourself in order to do the right thing? Just like Ned did with Jon, actually.
Yeah.
He lied to everyone. He made himself look bad in order to protect his nephew, which to me is the most honorable thing to do, even though it made him look dishonorable. So it's really complicated when you you look at this, and it's what I like about a show like Game of Thrones. It's so real. In real life, there is no black or white. I mean, there is only gray, and there is no right choice. So whatever you do, there are going to be consequences. And the fact that some characters will choose to go a certain way and others will choose to go another way, that's what makes these discussions so interesting. We can talk about it and just try to find the answer to who was right, but there is no answer. So
As we learned in World War II, there's a line between blind obedience and moral betrayal.
yeah, that's one of the things I didn't want to mention it, but it's true that that's the same thing in World War II. You blindly listen and you cause the deaths of thousands, or you decide to stand up against what you know is wrong and you help out, no matter the consequences on yourself. To me, that's the honorable thing to do. The selfless way is sometimes the best way. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it kind of is.
I have the feeling Tyrion will leave Daenerys. When Dany burns King's Landing, she will lose many allies. If she does end up burning the Red Keep and every people in it,
yeah, it looks like
no one
next
on
episode
Westeros will want to follow her after that.
Next episode, Tyrion will have a choice to make, and it's not going to be an easy choice to make. As for Varys, I'm pretty sure he already made his choice, and I do believe that that's how he's going to end. He's going to be executed because he betrayed his queen. No matter how it ends, he's doing this. It's going to be worse. Even if Jon ends up surviving and Dany dies, he might have Varys executed because he chose to betray Dany.
How to know what is the honorable thing to do if you don't have the bigger pictures? Well, the only one having the bigger picture is Bran. Bran.
And I mean, we already know that when you have the big well, that's the thing. When you are Bran, you don't act because you don't feel the need to. You let things go their own way. The only reason why people are acting is because there is a reason to act and because people are responding to their emotions. The only reason Jaime killed the Mad King was because the Mad King chose to burn everyone down, you know? So, and Jaime felt more attached to the people than he was to the Mad King, so he made that choice. Bran has no attachment to anyone. He has the bigger picture, so you're right. It's just that it's impossible for anyone to have the bigger picture without being involved, personally.
Did either of you notice that Cersei has burrows all over the grounds of the Red Keep? They might be filled with wildfire, so she can blame Dany for blowing up the city.
Could be, especially since she did put people in there. So I don't know if she's gonna do it at the end. Like if she has wildfire, that's why how I would see her go down, killing everyone and making sure that if she goes down, Dany's not gonna have anything to stand upon once it's over. So
it is really a tragedy that even though this battle is between two queens, Cersei and Dany, innocent people will end up dying in the middle because
there will be deaths. I mean, someone in the comments did say that even Jon and Varys' way of letting people starve so they eventually rise up and fight back is also letting people die. It's just slowly, it's slower, and it makes you feel less involved in their deaths, maybe. So, I mean, there's also that. Like, it's another sacrifice. There will always be sacrifices, because in war, there is no right choices, so.
Bran was so detached when he said, "It's your choice." It was so funny since it might be the biggest decision that will affect the endgame.
It's true, but yeah, like we said several times, Bran is so emotionally detached. I don't think he cares. I don't think he even understands. And I mean, it is true that Jon's identity is his own. It is his right to decide if he wants to go by Aegon Targaryen or Jon Snow. It's actually for him not to go with Aegon Targaryen and stay Jon Snow is the selfless way. Like it might be his way of saying, you know, because I don't want conflict, I'm not gonna say I am, you know, Aegon Targaryen, which is what he's doing. Like, he didn't tell the lords that he was Aegon Targaryen, but he does have a right to at least tell his sisters. So, I mean, some people were mad that he did tell Sansa knowing that she would betray him. He has too much faith, it's true. But I don't think Sansa heard that secret knowing she was going to tell people. She only told Tyrion because Tyrion did say, I'm scared of Daenerys. So, because he said that, she told him the secret. But it's true that it's Jon's right to say he is Aegon Targaryen because that's who he is.
Yeah. Honor is about being true to your word. If you change your mind even though you're justified, it's dishonorable. Sometimes the right thing to do is betraying someone's trust.
If you believe that people's lives are worthy more than like your king's life, and you decide to let them burn for your king, then you go against your own word and you're dishonorable. That's a very good way of seeing this. So Jaime was honorable when he killed the Mad King. He betrayed his vows, but I mean, it depends on how you see stuff. Like, there's always so many ways of seeing a choice from many sides. Just like when Jaime went north and he said, like, everything I did for my family, and I would do it again. We were at war. From our point of view, he was doing crazy shit, and he was very, very bad doing these things, fighting Robb and attacking Ned. But when you think about it for a second, if they had been the Starks, like, turn the tables around, and when the Starks attack the Lannisters, they also, do stuff that could be seen as the stuff Jaime did. It's just that we're rooting for the Starks, so we tend to forget them easily. That's what being a devil's advocate is all about.
Jaime tried his vow not to kill his father. I think the people were secondary. He already has said he will kill them all for Cersei.
As he already said he would betray King's Landing's people, like the innocent, the small folk, for Cersei. It's true that he stayed with her after she destroyed the Sept and killed the innocents, but the look he gave her in season 6 kind of confirmed to me, at least, that he didn't approve at all. Because, I mean, she basically did what he... She went and did what he fought to stop. So he dishonored himself in the eyes of the knights and everything to stop that massacre from happening. And she did it anyway, and he didn't approve. But it's true, he did stay with her. I think his love for Cersei is what's been blinding him for so long. But
Tyrion's kidnapping was the thing that triggered Jaime's wrath against the Stark.
Yeah, very true. Someone did mention this too in the...
But it is what technically pushed Jaime to
attack Ned. And
attack Ned
technically, he was arresting him. He wasn't killing him. And he got really mad when one of his men interfered and, hurt Ned in a dishonorable way, which behind his back and without him knowing he was going to take, part of in the fight. So, and he ended up, hitting his own guy because he didn't like the way he did this. So, he didn't betray Ned by doing this. It's technically Ned who, by saying, like, I gave the right to my wife to take your brother. It's Ned who made the first move here, and he just ended up reacting for his family. So I agree that Jaime was right. He was doing stuff for his family back then. And I mean, he had a right to react. It's just that we are rooting for the Starks. So as soon as someone goes against them, we tend to be mad at them. Mm-hmm. That's how a story works. I mean, you have people you root for and people you don't root for. But in a good story that represents reality, there is no one to root for and no one to be mad at. There is no one that's purely white or black. You might find reasons to support a character more than another, but it doesn't mean that character can't do bad things. Which is why I'm always surprised when people are like, how can you like this character? He did this, and he did this. Yeah, but he also did this and this and this, He's not completely bad. Some of them in Game of Thrones kind of are. But that's a story.
Yeah. I'm saying what time is it, guys? It's already been 2 hours since we started live.
It's true.
I think it's the more than time, 2 hours and 20 minutes so far.
Yeah. Some people are still, you still have, comments. I'm sorry if we didn't get to them, but we're going to have to end this here because we need to record some stuff. We need to record some Breaking Bad and some Hunter x Hunter. So we just started it. So we're gonna have to go to work, and we'll say bye and see you next week for the aftermath of this next big fight that apparently is bigger than episode 3.
Yeah.
So good night, everyone. Thank you for chatting with us.
Thank you for staying with us. It was a pretty interesting conversation so far.
All the time. We love talking to you guys. So have a good night.
Have a good night and see you next week for another love discussion of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.